Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, USA Global TV and Radio. Welcome and welcome back. If you are a new listener or viewer of this station, you are joining our Talking Head show today, and I'm MARISKA du PREEZ, your host. And if you are back here with us on USA Global TV, welcome back. And I am loving the fact that you are joining us. And I am sure that you will get a lot of value from our show today. So, as you can see, if you would like to contact me, you can do so via my email or my website, which is mariska@journeytodiscover.com. Or alternatively, you can also find me on LinkedIn. And you might be wondering, so why do I want to contact you? Well, if you are a leader and you are thinking about potentially jumping into leadership, if you are a specialist, or you want to grow yourself as a leader and bring a little bit more of that human element into your space, this is where I help. Now, how does that work? Well, I'm hoping that part of our episode today might help you out with showing how this may work. So our episode for today is going to focus on the quality of leadership and team engagement. Now, why this topic? Well, the Gallup Institute did a survey in the workplace for 2024, and what they found while doing their survey is that engagement in general around all the different industries that they surveyed, in all the different countries where they surveyed, doesn't look great. And they also found that for the most part, leaders typically, so the managers within that spaces, are more engaged, but only slightly so. What they also found was that when we have a leader that is disengaged, the whole team is almost guaranteed to not be engaged. So they went and they had a bit of a look, and they noticed that the organizations where they actually do really, really well do a couple of things to help with team engagement. And those things include the hiring as well as development of their leaders and their managers. And they really want to focus on things such as ensuring that the leader has coaching skills that they can apply within their space so that they can coach their teams. Not necessarily being a coach, but having the skills to help people out. They also seek actively to get feedback as well as to give feedback on a regular basis. So that helps both the leader as well as their team to know what they are doing really well, as well as where they might need to look for areas to improve. Then they also ensure that they hold themselves and their team can also hold each other accountable. So accountability is a very big part, and understanding how to do this well, hence the development of it. Then they're also very strategic around how they bring engagement into the organization. And yeah, they focus on integrating it on all the different levels when you think about organizational business, really. So when we attract the people that we want to hire, when we actually hire the person, and when we onboard them, right? All of these different elements, seeing how we can create those engagements within that space. Then once we have the person in our environment in the organization, ensuring that we also look at how we manage our performance within that space to keep that person engaged and as well as developed, because we also want to make sure that they grow and get better as they progress within the organization itself. And then, of course, that is part of the setting them up for success. Really supporting the whole person in order to bring their best and for the team to be able to thrive in which they are operating. So that's what the organizations look at. And seeing as they found all of these wonderful things within their survey and they had a bit of a look at how this worked, I thought, well, we can do today is look at how we, as the leader of the team, can potentially bring some of these things into the way that we think about engaging our team members and the quality of leadership we bring to our space in order to help our team be more engaged. So I have three main things within that space that I want us to take into consideration. So first off is really around the strategic part. And you might have heard the word visionary leadership. Now, I know for some people it feels like, oh, this is so big. It really, to me, what it means is thinking future back. So where is it that we are moving towards? What is it that we want to be building? As well as purpose. So first we want to think about purpose. And when I speak about purpose, it's really around why do we even need this team, right? What's the value that they are bringing to not only the organization, but the larger ecosystem that they are operating in? Now, if you think about an ecosystem, you might think about, let's say, a wetland, right? We have water, we have maybe a few different types of grasses, we have all sorts of other plant life, trees, and all sorts of things that live inside the water, outside the water, on the fringes of the water. And then we have a whole host of different other life. So bugs and animals and all sorts of things. And each one of them want to live and become more. So they want to procreate in some shape or form. They also serve a purpose for the ecosystem. So they also become a resource of some sort. So if we think about the animals and the bugs, at some point, they will most probably die and decay And the fact that they died and decayed actually gives the plants food in the form of nutrients. We also have the plants themselves. They get eaten by the bugs and animals if the bug and animal does not eat themselves, meaning the bug, the animal, and the animal, the bug, however they might be co-creating that space. So within our ecosystem, we always have this exchange of energy happening in some way, shape, or form. And there's always some form of benefit that the participant in the ecosystem bring. Now, from time to time, we might have spaces where we don't have an ecosystem and actually becomes toxic. And that's not what we want to create. So we want to make sure that our team can actually function in a well-established ecosystem. So first, we need to understand our purpose, right? Why do we exist as a team? And actually being very serious about that question and asking the stakeholders that we have within our space. So all the other departments that we might be working with, all the external stakeholders that we might have, everybody in our ecosystem, even the ones where we think, well, I don't really have an impact on them. Don't discount them. Ask. Because as soon as we ask them, we can find out what it is that they see. And it might be that we can utilize them as a resource in some shape or form. So that's the first piece of being visionary, is understanding our purpose, really, really understanding why are we here? What is it that we are doing? What benefit are we bringing to this bigger system that we are operating in? And then also looking at future back. So what I mean by future back is really understanding where it is that we are going to. So when we have our team and we understand our purpose, we will also understand that that purpose might fill a temporary thing, or it might be a larger purpose. So depending on the purpose, we will sort of have a time frame that is attached to it. We will also be able to see within the organization itself where it is that they are moving towards. Because in most organizations, they have a strategic plan of what they want to be doing, and they need to rethink and readjust the way that they operate. So for us in our smaller teams, we also need to take a similar type of approach. And this is really, really important because it helps us as a leader to be able to help our team to know how to connect to all these different dots. And this helps with engagement. So that's the one piece of it. Then the second piece that I started to touch on is around being a little bit more agile in our adaptability. Now, I know all of you will know that we have been facing change upon change, and it seems like it is snowballing and getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. People are getting creative with all sorts of new ideas and rethinking things and renaming things sometimes too. So we don't always get a chance to get into depth and settle down before taking the next step. It is continuous change upon change. And it's not only within our work environment, it is also for us as humans. There's nothing more constant than change. You will always change. It is normal. And we need to be adaptable as leaders. The easier it is for us as a leader to showcase how it is to change, the easier it becomes for our team to also follow. And how do we do this? Now, for me, the way that I think about change is it is a great learning opportunity. Because with change, it means that I need to figure something out. And then I learn from it. and I can pivot in whatever way, shape, or form that might look like. It also reminded me of a book that I read not too long ago from Adam Grant called Think Again. So within that book, he describes all the ways that we can potentially rethink and the value of rethinking, because it helps us to be more agile and flexible and not be almost rooted in one spot, because that means that we might go the way of the dinosaur, and we don't want to get to be extinct and potentially a painting on a wall. So we want to make sure that we can adapt. And this we can do by continually learning and building learning and rethinking into our own personal process as well as our team's process, because that helps us to be adaptable and handle the change even sometimes before it showed up. So that is very, very helpful for us as leaders to take into consideration. Then we have our last one of the three, which is cultivating a thriving environment. Remember the piece that I said that organizations setting up for success? So this is basically our version of setting up for success and making sure that our team is more than just the sum of its parts. Because for a lot of teams, especially those that doesn't have as much engagement as we would like, one of the things that happen is they become so dysfunctional that they actually subtract from the sum of their parts. They become less, not more. And that's not what we want. We want our team to become more. We want to utilize the strengths of every person. And by combining the strengths of the different people within our team, have even a bigger strength within that space. And that's what we need to thrive to help us create a team that can bring even more value now that we know what our purpose is. So understanding how we are able to do this and giving our team the ability to do this. And we can only do that by empowering them. Now, last time around, we looked at how to challenge our team. And that's one way of empowering them. It is also a great way to get them to be engaged. So if you missed it, go and have a look on our YouTube channel and look for where we discussed challenging our team. And another way of being able to ensure that we build this thriving environment is to make sure that we create a space in which our team feels safe to learn and grow. Now, when we think about that, psychological safety might come up, creating belonging and inclusion within our team, giving everybody a voice, listening and communicating. And these are all things that sounds really, really basic, especially the communication part. And from my own experience and having worked with loads of teams and leaders, communication is one of your most important tool sets. The better we can communicate and the more emphasis we have on effective communication, so not just talking at a person, but really communicating with the person, creating understanding between both of us, coming up with solutions that's not this person's or that person's, but a combination potentially of both or even a third option. That becomes effective communication. And being able to listen to our team and help them to help us solve the problems will ensure that we create an environment in which we can all thrive. So bringing those elements in helps us to create that environment that is helpful for all of us to become more. So one other tip or trick that you might think about is a small little equation. So the equation itself is talent multiplied by, in brackets, experience plus development will give you your strength, especially your leadership or your team strength, right? Now, when we think about talent, well, that's the things that people are really good at already. They might have learned it before. They might just have an innate skill within that space. So that's the talent piece. Then the experience is really looking at key experiences. Now, when you think about key experiences, think about those challenges that I mentioned a little bit earlier on. It's experiences in which we can really be stretched in order to learn. Then the next piece is around focused development. So yes, we want to develop, and we want to make sure that the development is effective. For development to be effective, and I don't know about you guys, but when I think about the first time I drove a vehicle, stick shift, on a highway, it was a little bit nerve-wracking because one, I needed to remember all the things that I needed to do with said vehicle, look in the mirrors, drive it, do all the pedal stuff, gears and all the rest of it, and then also look around me so that I don't bump into anybody or anybody bumps into me, and then follow all the road rules, right? It becomes a lot. Now, I didn't, as a novice driver, just jump into the car and drove on the highway the very first time I drove. No, the first thing I did was to familiarize myself with the vehicle first. So I was lucky enough to be growing up on a farm, which meant I had plenty of opportunities to drive around on the farm road, just getting used to how to actually shift gears, right? So that was sort of sorted out early on, which made it a lot easier for me to drive the car. Then, after I learned how to do that, I drove on roads where there wasn't as much traffic. So it made it a lot easier for me to, if there's one or two vehicles that comes past me, I don't need to stress too much about them. I knew how to operate the vehicle, so it became easier. So as you can notice, it is focused. It is small little steps to get me to actually be able to drive on a highway or freeway in a way that is safe for me and the other people, and I don't stall my car when I need to change gears. So that's the same when we think about developing within our team space. We need to ensure that it is focused. Understand where it is that we want to move towards, future, then come back and think, okay, so what's the steps that would actually get me there? And focus on developing those areas. So little bit by little bit, getting better and helping my team to do this. Now, this will help my team not only to be engaged, but also to grow and to learn, which would keep them engaged. So you see how all of these different things are intertwined. Plus, now you have a couple of strategies to go and try out for yourself and take some time to think about what's the vision, what's your visionary leadership, what's the purpose of your team, what's the future back focus that you can see, and then invite their voices in. Ask them what they are seeing. There might be things that you have not even thought about. And of course, then start to create that environment for your team to thrive. And with that, I hope that you have a lovely experiment that you can formulate and take into consideration. And of course, I am here if you need some coaching within any environment and you have some focused development that you want to focus on. Might even be communication skills, who knows? please do contact me via my email. You can send me a direct message, or alternatively, you can also find me on my email, which is mariska@journey2discover.com. And whether you are a specialist moving into leadership or you are a leader moving up within your career, I am sure we can get you to get your team engaged too. Until next time, bye-bye.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the Secrets of Visual Impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the Potential of Your Emotional Intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, Mastery in Dining Etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you.
We face daily cyber risks, spending over 7 hours of screen time, including 4.5 hours on mobile phones. This convenience comes with significant dangers, with cybercrime costs predicted to exceed $10.5 trillion by 2025. In 2023 alone, seniors lost over $3.4 billion to cybercrime. Our goal is to make social engineering concepts of cybersecurity easier to understand. We work with business teams, senior living facilities, investment companies, and educational institutions, both individually and in groups. We offer real-life examples to help you recognize and prevent attacks, with sessions available both in person, in selected regions, and remotely. Schedule your training session, or to learn more, contact us today. Call us at 847-845-9360. Email us at info@cybersecurity.easy.com. Protect your team and family with cybersecurity.easy.com.
My name is Dr. Felix Kravitz, and I am the founder of CybersecurityEasy.com, LLC. We live in a world full of vulnerabilities and cyber risks. We spend almost 4.5 hours a day on our mobile phones. It's over 7 hours of screen time daily when including computer use. We often forget that this convenience comes with risks. Published data predicts that the cost of cybercrime will exceed $10.5 trillion in 2025. These numbers encompass not only businesses, but also each one of us, including our children and our parents. In 2023, the FBI reported over $3.4 billion lost by seniors aged 60 and older. CybersecurityEasy.com LLC's initiative is to massively support the community by providing cyber safety coaching and improving social engineering awareness. Our goal is to make social engineering concepts of cybersecurity easier to understand. We work with business teams, seniors, and educational institutions, both individually and in groups. We cover various topics from phone phishing attacks to AI-generated voice cloning, robocalls, password protection, and more using life examples. Talk to us today. Call us at 847-845-9360 or email us at info@cybersecurity.easy.com.